Once upon a time, in a grand and luxurious castle, there lived a prince who was not only incredibly handsome but also wealthy and from a renowned family. Despite his external beauty, the prince was selfish and cold-hearted, caring only about himself. One stormy, freezing night, a frail, elderly woman knocked on the castle door. She was drenched from the rain and trembling from the cold, asking for shelter for just one night until the storm passed. When the prince heard about this, he stormed down to meet her and rudely refused, demanding that she leave his castle immediately. The old woman begged him, offering a single red rose as a token of her gratitude, hoping he might change his mind. Instead, he laughed at her and mocked the rose before turning her away. In that moment, the old woman transformed into a beautiful young enchantress and revealed her true identity. She told the prince that he had failed a crucial test to look beyond appearances and see the inner beauty in others. To teach him a lesson, she cast a spell that turned him into a hideous beast and his servants into household objects. Some became clocks, others teacups, candlesticks, and brooms. She handed him the enchanted rose and told him that the curse would only be lifted if he learned to love and be loved in return before the last petal of the rose fell. If he failed, he and his servants would remain cursed forever. Years passed, and the once beautiful castle became a shadow of its former self. The prince, now a beast, isolated himself from the world, convinced that no one could ever love a monster like him. He had lost hope, believing that no one cared about inner beauty anymore. Meanwhile, in a small village not far from the castle, lived a kind-hearted and beautiful young woman named Belle. She lived with her family and was known for her generous spirit and cheerful nature. Despite being the youngest, Belle took care of her father and loved him dearly. She was beloved by everyone in the village, though she attracted the unwanted attention of a man named Gaston. Arrogant and full of himself, Gaston believed Belle should marry him because of her beauty, but she refused his advances. One day, Belle's father set out on a journey, taking an unfamiliar road. The path was dark and treacherous, and before long, his horse stumbled and the carriage overturned. Lost and surrounded by wolves, the horse managed to escape, carrying him to the gates of the beast's castle. Desperate for shelter, Belle's father entered the castle, calling out for help, but no one responded. The enchanted servants, still in their cursed forms, took pity on him, lighting a fire and offering him food from the shadows. However, as he prepared to leave, he noticed a beautiful bouquet of white roses and, remembering Belle's love for flowers, plucked one to take home to her. But the beast had been watching. Enraged, the beast captured him and threw him in the dungeon for stealing his precious roses. When the horse returned home alone, Belle grew worried and set off to find her father. She followed the horse to the castle, where she discovered her father imprisoned and ill.